Yeah, and sinners plunge beneath the flood and sing. Yes, beneath the flood, being it can lose all his guilty stain, lose all his guilty. The dying thief rejoice to see the dying thief rejoice to see that fountain in his day, that fountain, and then his violence he Lord, as he wash all my sins away, my sins away, my shame. Shall we praise the Lord to the Master of Ceremony, Bishop Patrick, to His Lordship, the Bishop, Bishop John, to the Patriarch, to Mother Lancaster and her family, to the members of the Western United Spiritual Baptist Secret Order Incorporated, here to bring greetings and tribute from the Apostolic Province of New York, and also on my own behalf to extend condolences to the family. Let me step aside for 2 seconds and say this one word. I would have had the privilege to serve under 2 archbishops, entering into the deaconry of the Western United, and would have served under Archbishop Harvey Blood, and I would have continued serving under Archbishop Ivan Lancaster. I became the public relations officer for South when Reverend, I forget his name, died. I was 21, and I would have entered the chapter's board and served as the youngest member of the chapter's board, and then I would have become the chairman of the youth council. And so Bishop Blood and Bishop Lancaster would have cheered me on, and the youth council would have been one of the greatest organs of the Western United. In that today, I am seeing some of the members of the youth council who would have served underneath me when I was chairman, heading this West Indian United, and I tip my hat to you. And the bishop that your lordship was the education and research officer, and I'm sure he's poised to move to the next level. I would have done some weddings as a deacon, because at the time, I'm not sure if that's changed, the Western United would not have given license to deacons. So I would have done some weddings without having a marriage officer's license. And Bishop Lancaster would have allowed me to marry the people, not being around, because he had trusted me. Bishop Blood would have done the same thing. And so I would have married a few people well, good 100 people well. And under the disguise that I'm a marriage officer, and quietly they would have signed the document for me. I tip my hat to Bishop Lancaster. Time doesn't afford me to say that, but allow me to salute him. He's the last of the Mohican of that time. Somebody say amen. And when I look at the members of the chapter's board of that time, only two of us are standing, Bishop Hines and myself, and I tip my hat as he takes his journey onwards. As I stand in this hallowed place where I would have moved many resolutions right here, when I were active in the trade union, it would have brought me to prominence. The Spiritual Baptist Apostolic Province of New York, the office of the Provincial Apostolic Primate, 1412 Troy Avenue, Brooklyn, New York. His Beatitude, Dr. Edward F. Barrow. Condolences. The Spiritual Baptist Apostolic Province of New York and the entire Spiritual Baptist community in the province and state of New York wishes to confer to Her Eminence Mother Rona Lancaster, members of the bereaved family, and the entire Spiritual Baptist community in Trinidad and Tobago, our sincere condolences on the passing of His Excellency Ivan Lancaster, Jurisdictional Patriarch in the Patriarchal Jurisdiction of Trinidad and Tobago, Archbishop, spiritual leader, and brother in Christ. May his soul rest in peace, and may perpetual light shine upon him. His Beatitude, Dr. Edward F. Barrow, Provincial Primate. As I stand and pass the mic to the Secretary General, in my responsibility as the Deputy Secretary General of the Spiritual Baptist Faith, the Apostolic Patriarch have advised me to also extend condolences to the family. God bless you.
Thank you very much. To the Chief Celebrant, to the various members of the clergy present, good afternoon. So with the strength of a mountain, the majesty of a tree, the warmth of a summer sun, the calm of a quiet sea, the generous soul of nature, the comforting arm of night, the wisdom of the ages, the power of the eagle's flight, the joy of a morning in spring, the faith of a mustard seed, the patience of eternity, the depth of a family in need. God combined all these qualities and gave him a name, Ivan Nicholas Lancaster. As Secretary General, I am positing a patriarchal resolution, and it reads, whereas the souls of the righteous are in the hands of God, and no torrent will ever touch them, who in the eyes of the foolish seem to have died, but instead are at peace in the hope of their full immortality, and whose reward is with the Lord Most High. And whereas our beloved brother in the Lord, Ivan Lancaster, in the Twin Island states of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, was brought up in the strict religious discipline of Roman Catholicism, with a childhood ambition of becoming an attorney of law, but whose calling instead was to be the spiritual and ecclesiastical leader of the Spiritual Baptist Faith community. And whereas our beloved brother Ivan Lancaster, in response to his call, was baptized under the rites of the Spiritual Baptist Faith by Bishop Myers, and thereafter advanced through the various spiritual and ecclesiastical ranks of the said Spiritual Baptist Faith. And whereas our beloved brother Ivan Lancaster graduated in 1965 from St. Andrew's Collegiate, London, England, with a diploma in theology, after which he began his ecclesiastical journey, first as an ordained deacon, a minister of religion, a consecrated bishop, and later an elected and enthroned as Archbishop of the West Indian United Spiritual Baptist Sacred Order, Inc., with over 58 branch churches under his jurisdictional care, spanning territories covering Trinidad and Tobago, Grenada, Venezuela, and the United States. And whereas our beloved brother, Ivan Lancaster, served as president of the National Congress of Incorporated Baptist Organizations of Trinidad and Tobago from the year 1990 to 1996, and later as deputy patriarch. And whereas because of our beloved brother Ivan Lancaster's long, untiring, and his selfless contribution to growth and prosperity of the spiritual Baptist faith in the Caribbean, South America, and on the North American continent, he was invited to be a founding member of the Worldwide Spiritual Baptist Faith Incorporated at its creation, and was installed as the jurisdictional patriarch at the patriarchal jurisdiction of Trinidad and Tobago. And whereas on the 8th of this month, our beloved Ivan Lancaster transitioned from earthly life to join the company of saints in the household of God, and to be in his glorious presence, be it resolved that the spiritual Baptist faith and the worldwide spiritual Baptist community, wherever dispersed, reverently convey to Her Eminence, Mother Rona Lancaster's wife, other members of his bereaved family, and the whole spiritual Baptist community in the patriarchal jurisdiction of Trinidad and Tobago, sincere condolences on the passing of our brother, and that a moment of silence be observed by the congregation at all spiritual Baptist churches wherever dispersed around the world to his memory. Be it resolved that the name of His Excellency Ivan Lancaster, jurisdictional patriarch of the spiritual Baptist faith in the patriarchal jurisdiction of Trinidad and Tobago, be placed and enshrined in historical context in the National Historic Archives in the said Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, with all applicable patriarchal and ministerial vestments, paraphernalia, manuscripts, books, newspaper clippings, reports, addresses, remarks, awards, etc., as archival material in perpetuity of his life and service to the spiritual Baptist faith community and the nation, and to remain there until a spiritual Baptist museum of the indigenous faith can be created. May perpetual light shine upon him, and that he rest in peace. His Excellency Dr. Lawrence E. Ashton.
Hallelujah. Thank God for the